Hello, welcome back to Badger Rock, or Rooted at Badger Rock's virtual cooking series. My name is Forrest Smart. I'll be leading today's workshop. And today we're going to be doing a little summer recipe using some stuff from the garden, some freshly picked produce. We're going to be doing a massaged kale salad today with a raspberry vinaigrette dressing. I chose raspberry vinaigrette dressing mostly because, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of dressings, salad dressings in general. So the more simplistic and usually the more fruity or sweet is kind of where I gravitate towards when it comes to dressings. So that's why I chose our raspberry dressing today, raspberry vinaigrette. Chose raspberries because they're just starting to come in at our farm, at our garden here at Badger Rock. So these are just freshly picked today, freshly picked raspberries. Also, well, not from our hive, but we have honey. Usually we'd have honey from our beehives as well. But we just got some regular store-bought honey today. And then our main star for our salad will be our kale. Kale's been popping off for a while now, but now it's getting really big. This stuff's a little bit older, so it's a little bit looser, but still plenty good. We want to make sure we utilize produce as best we can, so we don't want anything to go to waste. And then with the massaged kale salad, the reason we're going to be massaging it, well, I'll tell you first what we're going to be using with it is lemon juice, olive oil, and salt. And basically the reasoning we're going to be massaging it with these things is just to break it down a little bit more and to make it easier to chew, less fibrous. It gets the dressing in a little bit more incorporated, and it's just a little bit more easier on the palate, I'd say, overall. But just jumping right into it, wasting no time, we're going to start off with our raspberry vinaigrette. So we're going to get about a cup of raspberries. And for this method, we're going to be blending everything. So we got our blender over here. You can also just mix this up, mash it up, mix it all up together, and then just shake it up in a jar if you want to as well. But for today, we're going to be using a blender so it gets all incorporated really well together. So we're going to add our cup of raspberries. Alright, and then this recipe, we're going to be using about a quarter cup of pretty much almost all of our liquids besides honey. So we have lemon juice, will be the first one. Do about a quarter cup. Oh, there's a lid under top. Did I poke this through? Ah!
You can also use fresh lemons, but
or fresh lemon.
You know, when I was at the store this morning, believe it or not, there were no fresh lemons, so we had to go for the concentrated.
So we're doing lemon juice concentrate. Same thing. So we're gonna do about a quarter cup of lemon juice. But yeah, it's usually about one and a half lemons or so is squeezed, depending on how juicy the lemon is. So we got a quarter cup of lemon juice. We'll add that in. We'll add in, next will be some balsamic vinegar. We'll do another quarter cup of that as well. Quarter cup. Add that in. And then the last one we'll add is some, well, not last, but last liquid of quarter cup. We're going to add some olive oil. Again, there's only 6 ingredients in this dressing, so it's pretty simple. Again, nice and sweet. It's got the raspberries in it. We're about to add some honey in as well. There'll be some extra sweetness also. Honey, depending on how sweet you want it, I'd say about 3 to 4 tablespoons or so. We'll do 3. We'll see how we feel. Get one going.
And if people are wanting to cut down on the sugar a little bit, could they just leave the honey out?
They could just leave the honey out too. Yep, they like just a little bit, just the sweetness from the berries. That's plenty fine too. Mine, I like a little, like I said, I like a little sweetness in my dressing. And if you don't have honey, you can also use maple syrup as well. That's another good alternative. Or any kind of sweetener that you like to, if you don't want to use just straight sugar or honey or anything like that as well. So we'll just do 3 tablespoons. Alright, last one.
Do you ever use other kinds of vinegar too? If you
Yep.
don't have balsamic?
Yep, so if you don't have balsamic, or if you're not a fan of balsamic, you can also use red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, or just regular vinegar too if you like as well. or if you don't want vinegar either, you can always just put just lemon juice and olive oil too if you don't like the vinegary taste too. I was kind of like that for a long time. I never really liked vinegar until pretty recently, if I'm being honest. So that's just me. So we got all of our mixings. Last but not least, we're just going to add about a little pinch of salt, maybe about 1/8 teaspoon or so. We'll blend this up, get our top on, get our blender.
Oh, it's a beautiful color.
Yeah, nice, beautiful red color. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Ooh, yum.
Good consistency. And then since we're using raspberries, as with most berries, they usually have a lot of seeds in them. So you can just use this as is if you like maybe a little extra fiber in there. But some people don't always like the raspberry seeds. They get stuck in their teeth and whatnot. So for this one, we're just going to sift it or put it through a screen, strain it out. So we'll have a nice, it won't be quite as thick. It'll be more watery then. But like I said, it'll get all the seeds out at least. So if you don't like them. Just mash it through a little bit.
Oh, it smells good too.
There we go. Yep. And then you can do this with different berries too. Again, raspberries are just what's in season. They're what's fruiting right now. So we wanted to utilize what's fresh in our garden. I think I made this the other night and we used blackberries as well, but there's a lot bigger seeds in that one, it seemed like, when we strained it.
Sounds delicious too.
Mm-hmm. Blackberry vinaigrette. All right, just about there. So again, as you can see, still got a bunch of seeds left over. Again, you can leave these in if you'd like, but for this recipe or this one, we're just going to keep them out. So it'll be nice, smooth dressing. So, all right, there we go. Here's our raspberry vinaigrette.
Oh, it looks so professional.
Mm-hmm. All right, now we're going to get our kale ready for our massage kale salad. So again, we want to just make sure you wash your kale first, wash it off, and get any dirt, bugs, or whatever may be on there. And then just going to de-stem them. I'm just going to pull them straight off. Try to get the big stems out as best you can.
Another really cool thing about adding a raspberry vinaigrette to kale is that little bit of bitterness to the kale, it kind of balances it out.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. All right, almost all the kale's ready. And then, yeah, another reason for adding or massaging the kale with like lemon juice and olive oil is it helps to kind of reduce it a little bit, especially with salt. Draws out some moisture as well. All right, and I'm just going to ball this up. We just want bite-sized pieces. Doesn't have to be exact or anything. Again, we're not measuring on our cutting right now. Let's do one down the middle. Just got some nice bite-sized pieces of kale. Add them to our bowl right here. So I had some already cut up. Add that right in there. The rest of our kale. Alright, now, the main attraction of the massage kale salad, we're going to add some lemon juice. Doesn't have to be exact, maybe if you're using a full lemon, maybe a half of a lemon squeezed in here. Or about maybe 2 tablespoons. I'm going to take a little olive oil, we'll drizzle that on there as well. And then just another pinch of salt as well. Then you can use forks or spoons if you want to massage it. Otherwise, you can always just use your hands. So we'll get in there. Massaging it in there. You're going to want to do this for maybe about 2 minutes or so, or just enough to get everything incorporated, get all the fibers in there, soaked with all of our lemon juice and olive oil. Again, it's just going to help make the kale a little bit more tender, so it's a little easier to chew and eat, as well as just bring out more flavor.
If you just massage with the salad dressing alone, would that work too, since it's got all those things in it?
That could work too. Yep, it's got everything we have in here already. I just like doing this beforehand just to kind of give it a little extra time.
Yeah.
I can already feel it getting softer. It doesn't feel quite as stiff. Alright. So just for time's sake, I'll say this has been about 2 minutes. It's been maybe about a minute or so massaging it, but again, more kale too. Might take a little longer for massaging it. Alright, so we're just going to let this sit for a minute. Again, it's going to soak into the kale more, become softer, a little more easier to eat. And then while we're waiting for that to sit, we're going to prep our other veggies or other add-ins for our salad. If you want, you can just have plain old kale salad with some raspberry vinaigrette, nothing else in it, perfectly fine, always good. But I always like a little bit of color in my salad. You know, they always say eat the rainbow, get as much vegetables and color as you can. So I like to add a little bit of color in other veggies. We're going to add some cherry tomatoes. We got a cucumber. We got a turnip from our garden as well. And then just a little cilantro just for some extra herb and flavors as well. So I'll just chop up these real quick. Nice and fine.
And that's parsley, you said?
Oh, this is parsley.
Is it parsley or cilantro?
This is cilantro.
Okay.
You had me scared for a second. Yeah, this is just add more extra flavor, some earthiness to it. So throw that in there. And tomatoes, I'll usually just half them or quarter them. I think I'll just do half for these ones.
Not long till we'll have those fresh out of the garden too.
Oh yeah, they're coming up quick.
Yep.
July and August. A lot of harvesting done at this time. Let's throw a couple in for color and flavor. Cut up our turnip. We'll just do slices of this one.
And if you all want to get a chance to see where the garden where these vegetables were grown, the Community Garden Summit is coming up on Wednesday at Badger Rock. It's going to be 3 nights. The first night's at Badger Rock, 5 to 8:15. The second night's going to be at the Madison School Farm over on Sudbury Way by Kennedy Elementary, and the third night's going to be at Troy.
Yep.
There's still time to sign up, so check out the Rooted page, y'all, and you can
come on over.
Come do some sessions. We have sessions on gardening in small spaces. We have some different cultural gardening techniques and guests who are going to be sharing. We have tours of each of the spaces. We have kids activities, lots going on. So come on out. Don't be shy and sign on up. It's going to be fun, and delicious dinners will be served at each of these events too.
Yep. And if you have kids and you bring them along, I'll be leading the kids activities too at Badger Rock tomorrow. So come on down.
Don't miss it. The kids love Forrest.
All right, so we got our turnip, cherry tomatoes, some cilantro in there. I'm just going to cut up a few slices of cucumber as well.
We call this kind of thing in my house refrigerator roundup, like whatever you have ready.
Yep, whatever you have.
We call this garden roundup salad.
All right, we'll just throw these in as slices as well. All right. We'll just chop up the rest of this one while we're at it too. Alright, almost done with chopping. Alright, so this is what we got so far.
Ooh, it looks so fresh.
Yep. Yeah, I'll just give it a little toss in my hands. So again, you can put anything else in here. Some other fixings. I mean, you can always put some cheese, sunflower seeds, pepitas are always really good. I like those. Any other kind of vegetables. Yeah, whatever you're feeling. Whatever you think goes in a salad, you can always throw it in this one too. Or you could always just have plain old kale salad as well. So we got our mix. Got some color in there. That's what I'm hoping for at least. A little bit. Our kale's nice and tender now. So just kind of however much dressing you want. I kind of like to go a little lighter on my dressing. So I'm just going to pour maybe about a third of this in here. Right over. And then we'll grab a full.
Oh, it looks so good for a hot day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing too, like
Just give it a little mix.
some seeds and nuts and cheese, and that's a full meal. You've got your protein, your vegetables.
Yep.
A nice meal for a hot summer day where you don't feel like anything too heavy.
A little grilled chicken or something on it too.
Yep.
All right. This is pretty much our finished product right here. We got our kale salad. I got our raspberry vinaigrette that we just freshly made. Let's try a little bite.
Turned out
Nice and sweet, not real heavy. A little bit of sourness from the lemon juice. And the kale's nice and tender. It's really good. Not real fiber, not real bitter either. The kale usually is. The sweetness and the sourness definitely help cut that pretty well. But yeah, this is pretty much very easy salad to make. Very quick, very fresh. And kale is very nutrient dense. It's very good for you. A lot of good vitamins and minerals in there. Anything green is usually always very good for you.
watch out.
Sorry, just keep eating more. Just keep eating more. I'm sorry.
he's gonna eat the whole bowl while we're watching.
But yeah, that pretty much concludes our recipe for today. Yeah, I just wanted to show you guys a nice, easy recipe, summer salad, some real fresh ingredients. Most of this can be found in the garden, or at least all the veggies and produce. And yeah, I just wanted to share this really cool recipe with everybody.
Yeah, and we'll post the recipe in the comments too, so y'all, if you want to try it on your own, check it out and let us know what you thought.
Perfect.
All right, thanks y'all for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
See you later.